that out. But that's looking good. It's looking good. Consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel. You know it's not. You know it's a consonant when there's a vowel underneath it. Okay. I need to write that out tonight. Make sure everybody's got that. I need a pen.
The markers are right there.
Okay. I'm going to go over everything, get through it, then come back to that towards the end. No, I'm going to have to use a pen because that with this setup here, you won't be able to see it.
I think you say it on
Live. For live.
We're live? Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to the second lecture of Hebrew 102, and hope you had a great Thanksgiving and gave you a little bit extra time to start working through Genesis 1 and 2. We're going to work through Genesis chapter 1 as fast as we can. I'm going to start off here tonight going to and making some advancements and going to verse 2 and verse 3. And when we do, I'm going to go over and teach you some grammatical rules so that kind of help. I'm going to ease you into grammatical rules. Remember last time I left off and I was telling you all the various different forms of God, so you could see what tense it was in, and then I'm going to do a little bit of that tonight with prepositional pronoun, because it's going to be exactly the same thing that you learned with being able to say, you know, my God, our God, his God, her God, and their God, masculine and feminine. And I just want you to get really used to those the suffixes, because you're going to see them over and over again. And we're going to just talk a little bit about verb forms tonight, because it's going to be hard for you to understand the translation, especially for verse 3, if I don't tell you I'm going to give you a new surprise about the Vav. You're going to get a surprise, a crazy surprise about the Vav tonight. And so, and then at the end of this, what I want to do is I want to come back and make sure that you're getting your transliteration correct. So, you know, I'll just open up tonight just reading this for you, and I want you to begin to memorize this too. Ve'ha'aretz hayata tohu vavohu ve'choshech al panei tohom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al panei hamayim vayomer Elohim yahi or vayehi or. Okay? So one of the first things that I want to begin to talk about here is just found right here within this second verse, and really just this second word, and I talked a little bit about it last time, hayata. Let me get my professional pointer over here so I'm not just using my finger. Hayata. And so to understand hayata, there's a couple things I want you to learn, okay? And one of them that I want you to learn is this ending where you see the gametz and the hay. Anytime, or most of the time, that you see a gametz and a hay, and I believe it's just about every time, there's maybe some exceptions, of the gametz and the hay, but you know, this is the rule. That makes it feminine, okay? And so, there is every word in Hebrew is either feminine or masculine. There's no neuter. So when you're looking at this, you're going to understand this particular cal root, which I also just going to take the cal stem, and I'm going to take a moment to explain it before I talk any more about this. Okay? And it's in your second handout. I begin to explain the cal stem, and the cal stem usually is in the perfect third person masculine singular form, just as it appears. Okay, and it appears as a hey yod hey, haya. Okay, and of course that usually has two gametz underneath it, right? Haya. And then if you want to have an imperfect form of that third person masculine singular, what you're going to do is there's going to be this prefix that you're going to put on it, and the prefix is going to be yod. And it's always going to be that way for the imperfect form. It's very important to establish that for you for a couple of reasons here tonight, okay? And then this is the form, and we're going to see this form right here in the 3rd chapter. And so I just want you to be able, this is so common. Memorize it, because and it's not going to be hard to memorize it when you read through Hebrew, because you're going to see it all the time. And what I'll do next time is I'll go through all of the forms for the verb, at least in the perfect tense, for you in the next lesson. And I know it's going to be a little bit overwhelming, but it's really not that difficult. And what we're basically going to be dealing with a lot of the times, is the third person, perfect or imperfect, masculine or feminine. Of course, you're going to have second person, you're going to have, first person, but it's not that difficult to grab a hold of, once again. So third person, the perfect form of the third person feminine singular is pretty much as you see it right here in verse 2. And it says, we're saying, V'ha'aretz hayata. So, and the earth, she was, or she became. She became. So you're going, wait a minute. She? Where did she come in? Who's she? Not who's he. Who's she? Okay? Who is he and he is she? No, that's true. Hebrew word for he is who. And the Hebrew word for she is he. So that's the parable. Who is he? He is she. Okay. Also kind of fits into some of the weird things that are going on in modern society. But we won't talk about that right now. Okay. So you're saying, well, who are we talking about? And she was. This is one instance where the feminine form, everything is masculine or feminine, and this is one instance where the feminine form does not have either the ending of pata, or gametz, hey, like we see right here, gametz, hey, or at the ending. Are you in on this here? Are you looking in on this? Okay, I just want to make sure. The ending, gametz, hey, like you see it right here, once again with hayata, okay, hayata, or it's going to have the tet ending. It's going to be a feminine. Shows it a feminine. Most of the time, that's going to show us that it's feminine. Okay, if it doesn't have that, you can basically, the majority of the time, you can assume it's masculine, you're going to be right, except for with certain words. And one of them is, and I'm going to point them out to you as we go through here. One of those words would be aretz. Aretz is feminine. And she became, we're talking about the earth, and the earth became, she became, empty, desolate, waste, okay? Now, let me just see if I can make sure that, so, and I make a point over here. Rarely does haya implying something in a present tense, okay? Rarely do you find haya implying something in the present tense. Rarely, okay? Important. One should note that actual tense is usually, especially the verbless clause, is derived by context. Okay, so what I want to do here before I take you into the prepositional pronouns is I want to make sure that you are actually doing your transliteration right. However, before I do that, I want to review verse 3 with you. Okay, Vayomer Elohim Yahi-or Vayahi-or. Okay. Now, what did I tell you about Yahi? You've already learned something about Yahi, okay? It's Haya in the imperfect third person masculine singular, right? Mm-hmm. So, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
If you know what's being said, and God said, light be, okay? It literally would say, and said God, be light. And be light. Doesn't make sense, does it? Right? See that? So I'll read it again to you. And God said, and said God, be light, and be light. Doesn't make any sense. This is where, because once again, if you're looking at this form, remember the vav is it's the and, the conjunctive, right? And those forms are exactly the same, aren't they? By and large, they're exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
It's yod, shwa, hey, herek yod, right? Get rid of the vav, the conjunctive, and what do you have? Yod, shwa, hey, herek yod. Same, right?
Yeah.
And so what does that look like? That looks like the imperfect, right?
Yeah.
Now let me tell you something about verbs. When there is a vav in front of any verb, it changes tense every time. And it's called the conversive vav. And you'll notice that you're seeing something about the vav that you've never seen before, huh? Give you a little bit of a hint, right? You've never seen a vav up to this point. You've never seen a vav, I don't believe, that had a pata underneath it. It's usually the shwa, right? Now we got a pata. That's saying, hey, wait a minute, something weird's going on over here, okay? And that is the vav conversive, which literally means that this is a vav that is going to convert the tense. So now we understand, and said God be light, and was light. And so if we could just, so that would be a literal translation. Now nobody talks like that, and so that speaks English. So you would say, and God said, and remember, I want to show you something else real quick about this. See, remember what I told you about that yod? Remember when I told you about that yod? Here is, let me just show you the cow. I showed you the cow form already as hey, yod, hey, right? That's your verb. That's your cow form. In most all verbs, just have 3 letters, 3 consonant stems. Well, here's another of your new vocabulary words. I'm pretty sure it's new. It's amar. Okay, and amar is say or said, right? And just like I was just showing you here, if you put the yod out here in front of it, right? As soon as that yod goes out in front of it, what happens? It becomes imperfect. Third person imperfect. Okay? See that? So, reality of it is that we're seeing Amar saying, what are we seeing there? We're seeing that stinking what? Of course, it's not a stinking, but it's an unfamiliar pata with the vav again, right? So what do we got? Vav conversive. So, this has gone from now the imperfect form, right? Because we said it's if you got that yod in front of the verb, it makes it imperfect. It's gone back to the perfect, and so it literally is. And he said, okay. And he said, it's done. He said it, right? It isn't, and he's going to say. So, understanding. And hopefully, and I put it down here just for everybody. If it's past tense, it's perfect, because a lot of people don't understand perfect and imperfect. Past tense means he already said it. He said it, okay? Or future tense is imperfect. He's getting ready to say it. So if you took this vav off of here, you say, and God's getting ready to say, or and God's going to say in the future, right? But we've just made a change. So that and this is just the way it works. This is it. And you can say, well, it doesn't make sense to me. Why didn't they just come out with the perfect instead of the imperfect? There is a lot of theories, and there's philosophy on that, and there's some real spiritualization about that God's always talking in the future tense, or rather always talking in the past tense, rather, not the future tense, and the things that are in the future, He's has already happened in the past. Things in the past are going to have already happened in the future. It's continuums, crazy stuff that people come up with. But nonetheless, I don't go into that. And he said, this is just the way it is. Just understand that. And he said, who's he? Who's he?
God.
Did you notice that that's not she? Did you know that's not she? Well, you're going to notice it because you're going to learn the verb You're going to learn the verb tenses. You're going to learn how to deal with the verb forms, okay? He said, God's a he. Praise God. And every time you ever see him, he's a he. And that wasn't something subjective. That's actually the language, okay? And he said, who said? God said, and he said, and God said. So what we do is you just, if you're going to translate, you go, and he said God. Then you just take God and you put it in where the he is. That's simple. And God said. So it kind of maybe helps to make a little bit of sense. Also, important, I recognize that it's really helps us to figure out context, because anytime you have a feminine noun that's talking about a feminine adjective and a feminine verb, all those always going to be feminine. If that noun is feminine and there's an adjective and that is masculine and a verb that's masculine, it has nothing to do with that feminine noun. If you've got an adjective that's feminine and a masculine noun and a masculine verb, it has nothing to do with that noun or that verb. Because any noun, any adjective, any verb that are modifiers of each other, if you would, okay, are all going to have the same gender. There is no confusion about gender in the Hebrew culture or in the Hebrew language. We know that everybody is what they are born, and what they are born is absolutely revealed in several different ways. Amen. I hope that helps somebody. Okay. So I know exactly who said what we're talking about, and God said. And what are we looking at here when we look at Yahi? What are we looking at? What form are we looking at? We're looking at the imperfect third person masculine singular. We're not looking at a feminine. So, or light is what? What is light? Is light masculine or is it feminine?
Masculine.
Light's masculine. How do we know? Here's how it helps us to know. Okay? Just like actually we had a clue that Earth was feminine because we couldn't make anything else fit for, and she said, and it became, or forgive me, there's no it, and she was, or she became, right? Mm-hmm. So we know so when you know the verb, it helps you to link, it helps you to discover, what the noun is. Is it masculine or is it feminine? It helps you put the noun and the adjective with the right verb, and vice versa. Okay. So did you see the clue? So there's nothing else in here that it could be and she was, except for the earth, because you can't have and she was, looking at tohu vavohu. It doesn't that way to make sense. So same thing here. Yahi is a third person. It's the imperfect third person masculine singular. And so it's once again it's something that hasn't happened yet, right? If you're not fully formed, or if you're imperfect. If it hasn't happened, it's imperfect, right? It's not completed yet. I got some imperfect ideas for tomorrow. In several ways that can be defined as imperfect, but you get it. Just don't forget that. Perfect means it's a done deal. You got it. You're complete. Praise God. Salvation is perfect. Go ahead.
So if it's not clearly feminine, as like denoted by those two traits,
right,
ending in tet or with the
gamet's hey,
then it's automatically masculine.
Right. So yeah, what was just said. If it's not denoted by the hey, the gamet's hey or the tet, then you know it's masculine. Unless you've got a verb there that's modifying that, or a verb that's associated with that noun, and it's saying it's feminine. Then you got a clue. Just like with haaretz, okay, or aretz, and now also here with or, which is the word for light.
And we know earth is feminine because the verb following it describing
is feminine. That's how we know. Right. We could have looked it up in a catalog that defined the exceptions, the words, the nouns that are exceptions to the rule. We'd have found there, or we could have looked at the verb. Or we could have looked at the adjective associated with the noun. And we would have known right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, once again, I look at this. So we're looking at this, and God said, light be. and I mean, just that is just the best way to translate this. I think it's just such a perfect. And light was. Both times the verbs, of course, are exactly the same, same in gender form as the verb and the noun are equivalent. Okay. So now let me walk you through this real quick. Well, let me just make a point, or take time rather, to just walk you through something that's very similar to what you looked at last time. And this is really the same endings that we put with Elohim. I want you to go back and look at the endings that we put with Elohim, okay? And you'll see that it's exactly the same. And so it's very important. You're going to see these over and over again. You're going to see them associated with the nouns over and again. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to, when you get it once, you got it, okay? And so you've got le, lach, lach, lo, la, lenu, lachim, 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 lachim. So just practice them. Do a transliteration of them, okay? And go back, do it with Elohim, just in the same way that I showed you, the way that I made the construct form, and then you add onto the construct form the suffix. You do that with every noun. It all works the same. And then better than that, or most importantly, you do the exercise a couple of times with different nouns, and we'll do it as we go along, okay? And different prepositions. Then what's going to happen is you're going to recognize it as you're reading along. It's going to become very familiar. Right now, you're basically memorizing, right? You're just memorizing it. You want to be able to go, you want to be able to go, V'ha'eretz hayata tohu v'abohu v'choshech al pani. V'ruach Elohim merachefet al pani hamayim. Okay, so I messed up, but I really need a little bit of grace here tonight, as always. We all need grace, but I should have. Actually, I have the first chapter memorized, but I'm not proving it at this very moment. Okay. Now, what I want to do real quickly is I want to make sure that everybody has this right. I think we've already done ha'aretz. I want to remind you, always do this. Always make sure that when you're writing these things out, that you're writing out consonant vowel. Doing a dash, okay? And just do it like this. Do it this in a methodic way. It'll help you, okay? And then do the next one, which is, in this instance, it's hey gametz, and then just put your H-A, okay? Then do a dash. For now, just do it. Break it out into your syllables. It's going to help you, okay? Then the next is going to be your yod, shwa, okay? So you're going to do Y, E, right? Everybody tracking with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next is you're going to do tet, gametz. So you're going to do another little hyphen, and you're going to go T, A, okay? And obviously it's an open syllable, so we're going to go ahead and put the hey there, and put our A here, hey here, or H there, okay? So, v'ha'yeta. V'ha'yeta. So let's look at this. Let's look at it and make sure it's right. Rather. Did I mess up? Yeah, no, here we go. I'm sorry, there's no... I'm sorry. You guys are probably looking at me funny. What on earth is he doing? I'm combining two words over here. Okay, sorry about that. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so here we are. Once again, hey, gametz, yod, shwa, te, gametz, hey. Ha, yeta. So let's look at it. Ha, yeta. This, once again, this E here is what? This E that represents the schwa is what? Silent. But the Y compensates for it. Ha yata, right? That's a silent. So you're not going ha-yi, ha-ya, ha-ya-ta. Where does this syllable naturally fall in Hebrew words? Sorry. Where does the accent naturally fall in Hebrew words? On the last syllable. All right? Ha-ya-ta. Ha-ya-ta. Right? Make sense? And then, I think the rest of these are pretty simple, but I just want to go over them with you just to make sure that you got them all right. And I know that I don't think I went the rest of this verse. I don't remember doing it, so I just want to make sure that you got it. So let's just do it exactly the same way. I want you to always follow this. Okay? If I basically come to you with a pop quiz personally, and I ask you to do a transliteration for a word, I want you to do it for me just like this. I want you to write out consonant and vowel. And then I want you to come over here and I want you to go T-O. And I want you to put a hyphen. Okay? A megath. Okay? A megath. So what's a megath for? Don't worry about it. No one knows. Okay? So the hyphen has a little bit more meaning. Looks like a megath. Okay? So I want you to go it's the tet holum, right?
Right.
And then you got another consonant vowel, which is your hey, shura. So you just come over here and go H, what? U. Huh?
U.
Tohu. Tohu. Like tofu. But tohu. Are you with me? Don't do tofu, but do tohu. Tofu has way too much garbage in it. Okay, you got that?
Yeah.
Now here we are with the gamuts underneath the vav, but it's not a conversive. There's nothing conversive about this. Okay? Because what are we describing here? What are these? Are these nouns or adjectives? It's waste and empty.
Adjectives.
Right.
Describing the noun.
Right. Masculine or feminine?
Feminine. Because they're all feminine.
They're all feminine. Okay. But is there any way for you to be able to tell that they're feminine?
Because Earth is feminine.
Yeah, you're just going to have to follow it through. That's right. You're just going to have to follow it through. Right. Okay, so tohu, vavahu. Okay, so here we are. So once again, what are you going to do? You're going to go vav, gametz. What's the first thing you're going to do? You come over here, you're going to go V-A, hyphen. Then you're going to look at the next consonant vowel. Vav, holum. You're going to go, there's no dagish, so V-O. And then you're going to go hey, and it's shirak again, right? Who? Same ending. Tohu vavahu. Tohu vavahu. Okay? Then we're going to hit v'choshek. Masculine or feminine?
Feminine.
It's masculine.
Masculine.
It's masculine. Because now we're just, you know, now we're basically talking not about the earth anymore, right? We're talking about the state of the earth. You could argue the same thing with tohu vavahu. It's an interesting argument. And I'll talk more about that later. Okay? So, so once again, hopefully you guys are getting this. You know, I'm so sorry. We were supposed to be over in our other building having a whole lot better ability to communicate these things, but unfortunately the people that have put in our fiber optics are extremely slow, and so we're basically, as you can see, fumbling, bumbling, and tripping around over here. But we're trying to do this thing haphazardly for you. Okay, so Bechoshek, Becho, anybody like that? Everybody should hate that, right? Because I said don't do it that way, right?
One at a time.
Okay, so once again, consonant vowel. Come down here. V, E. Het, Holam. Shin, Shagol. Hyphen should be H, O, hyphen, S, H, what? E. And then final form, what is it? Final form kaf with a schwa, right? Correct? So what is that going to look like? What are we doing?
K, silent E.
K,
K, H.
E, or are we going CHE? We're doing KE?
K.
Behoshek. Behoshek. So when we look at this, what we're going to do is we're not going to make a hyphen here with that final schwa. Okay? We're going to end it like this. Behoshek. We're going to make it an open syllable. Behoshek. Okay? Did you get that?
Why did we not make it why did we make it an open syllable on this?
With that final schwa, we're treating it as an open syllable, even though it's closed. It's silent, really. So it'd be kind of weird. Vahoshika. It's Vahoshik. It's actually more like Vahoshech. Okay? Vahoshech. A little bit more guttural. And like the het, it's actually got a little bit more of a het. But it's hard for English people to go het with the K, get that K in there, het, like a little bit of het. So I just go, start you off with just going, make it really breathy, hit, okay? And then go, hit. So that you got a difference between that and ha, because it's far more guttural. So if you just start off with the hit being hit, and put the K in there, hit, it helps you a little bit more, I think, to distinguish it between the hit sound and the chaf sound. The hit sound and the chaf sound. The cha. So the CH with a hard CH versus a breathy K sound. Hit, cha. Hit, cha. That's the best I can do. I think that some of the guys are much more guttural with the cha, but the choshech. Sorry, the dust in here's got me. The choshech. So if I don't get lazy here and I try to get more guttural, the choshech would be the choshech. The choshech. I get too guttural with the K, the head. With the head, expecting the cha, the choshech. So if I go a little bit lighter on the hay, the choshech, it helps me. So the choshech. Just get real guttural on that one, okay? Pani, haven't we gone over Pani before? Yeah. Tehom. Let's just do Tehom real quick. How much time do I have?
12.
Okay. So let's do Tehom real quickly here. So this word right here, Tehom. Te, schwa. We'll go over here and put T-E hyphen. Okay. Hey, hol and vav. We'll come over here and go H-O. And then, because it's an open syllable. Why is it an open syllable? There's only a consonant, no vowel ending it. So we put our final form mem here, right? And so we just go over here. Tehom. Huh? V'ha'eretz hayata tohu vavahu v'choshech al panei tehom. And darkness was upon the face of the Tehom. The deep. Let's go ahead and Beruach Elohim. Wonder is, and this is a very important word for me to translate for you here tonight. Beruach. Why isn't it Berucha? Okay, because that's how you're looking at this final form. You know, you're looking at this closed syllable up there. It looks like, right? But actually, in this case, you can actually see that the pata is like a little edgy ahead of the consonant. However, it's never vowel consonant. It's consonant vowel. So even though it's kind of like edged up there a little bit, it's only a hint to pronounce it first on the. When you have these kind of closed vowels, you pronounce the pata before you pronounce the consonant. And so let's do that one real quick, okay? Is this masculine or singular, by the way? B-E hyphen. You're thinking about that, right? And they're going to go resh and sharuk, huh? Which is going to be R-U, right? Very important word to memorize. Very important word. And then, what is the last one going to be here when we've got a het? Notice I said it right. A het, and a pata. It is going to be a H instead of H-A. Beruach, 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 beruach. Beruach, beruach, beruach. Got a ring to it. The spirit. Beruach. Masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Masculine. Absolutely. Spirit has to be masculine. Later on, we're going to get in this. We're going to get in here. We're going to deal with the soul, nefesh, and you're going to discover that everything that's modifying nefesh is feminine. And so you say that's why. You don't call soul an it, you call it soul a she. My soul shall make her boast in thee, Lord. No, my soul shall make his boast in thee, Lord. Okay? Because it's applied to me. I'm not going to be literal in translation when it's going to, especially when it's going to apply to someone like David. Is a girl writing this song? Or is a man writing this song? Well, if a man's writing this song, I'm going to let context tell me that I'm going to translate this, my soul shall make his boast. If I'm going to be just absolutely strict with the translation of the text, I'm going to say, because I have no other means to translate this, because I don't have any other modifiers that are telling me which way to go, I'm going to go, my soul shall make her boast. Because boast isn't going to help me here. It's not going to show me. It's going to be just like, it's going to be like tohu vavohu. There's no indication that those adjectives are feminine. They don't follow the rules. Pata, hey, or a te. So they're not masculine. They're not feminine. They're masculine. Okay. We're going to talk about that more. I'll talk more about that next time, okay? So, once again, Varuach is associated with Elohim. Elohim is masculine, we know that. It has a masculine ending. The mem is a masculine plural ending. The shurak tet is a feminine plural ending. Shurak tet. That's your feminine ending, masculine ending. You're going to see that over and again. But what you're going to see right now, that's later. I'll bring it up more later. Just kind of throw that out at you. That's, extra. It costs you any extra, but it's extra. Mem is your masculine singular ending. Masculine plural ending. I'm sorry, masculine plural. So, is there anything else here that stands out that I want to get at? Hamayim. Okay? Feminine or masculine? Hamayim. Hint, Elohim.
Masculine.
There you go. Singular or plural. Hint, Elohim.
Masculine.
Singular.
Right, and that's why I like to do it this way. I like to try my best in every way I can to simplify these various different, tenses and linguistic forms based on what you already know. Okay? So Elohim becomes for you your example of a masculine plural form. So when I see something Hamayim, Mayim is waters. Okay, let's do that. Let's do Mayim real quick. Okay, we're just going to do Mayim. Okay, which we're just, it's got the dagish in there. So what are we supposed to do with it?
Double.
We're supposed to double it. Okay, and especially with the which demands for me to go ahead and put the direct object in the front of the thing, right? So, which is a pata, not a gametz. I'm sorry, I should know better than that. Hamayim. So we're going to go H-A, right? Hyphen, H-A, H-A-M, M-A. Hamayim. Okay? Hama, okay? H-A-M, almost like an open syllable. H-A-M. Then we're going to do M-A for the next consonant vowel. You see that?
Yeah.
And then we're going to do an open syllable at the end, right?
Right.
Which is going to be Y-E-M. Yim. Okay? Which is, where else have you seen that? Very, very close to Elohim. Very close to the Yod Mim. Yod Mim, right?
Yeah.
It's just in this case, instead of a Yod Mim, it's the Herrick Mim. Okay? So, relate that. It's not, and the word Mayim, which is what I was going to show you to start off with, the word Mayim is water. Okay, final form. What am I doing? Final form. It's water. It's not water, it's waters. Right? And it's upon the face of the waters. Or water. Because you can say the same thing in English, right? It's the water is a singular sound, but it's plural. Right? Over the face of the waters of water. But that's just like we're saying here with God, it's plural. It's a masculine plural. This is a masculine plural. Okay. And I think I've got verse 3. So I'm pretty much done for what I wanted to try to get through tonight. Any questions about any part of this? And I don't have my phone. I promise you in the future, at this question and answering time, I will have my phone with me so you can text me your questions. So put that in your notes. If I haven't already caused you to go to sleep in this lecture, put my telephone number. Some of you say, I don't have your telephone number. Well, you better use it very conservatively. And that means rarely. But nonetheless, we'll make sure that you have it. But I'm not going to put it on YouTube for all the world to see. You'll have to find it in other clever ways. Any questions about anything? Yes.
Is Merafet?
Merachefet?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do Merachefet. Because it was the one 5-syllable word that I didn't do. Okay? Always, what I want you to do is, if you will write it out like this every time, you will train your mind to actually think this way when you're trying to pronounce it. And so just write it out every time. This is going to be M-E hyphen, okay? We're going to look at the Resh, Pata, R-A, hyphen. Then we're going to see the Het, it's going to be Het Shagol, which is H-E, right? And then we're going to have Pe, right? not pay, but fe, right? So it's going to be fe, right? And of course it's an open syllable, so we're going to just go ahead and put their T right there. Now we'll say it. Merahefet. Yeah, hefet. And get that in the breathy H. You're going to hear most Hebrew speakers say merachefet. But it's going to sound like merachefet, but it's going to be merachefet. Okay? I think it's better to say merachefet. Okay, merachefet. Okay? Merachefet. Now what do you want to say about merachefet?
Is it stirring or moving? Is it
Merachefet is to brood, to hover, to stir. What?
We're at 45.
I'm sorry?
We're at 45 minutes.
Yeah, but we're doing question and answer, so it can run over.
Awesome.
Okay? What would you say? Yeah, merachefet, if you look it up in a dictionary, it's going to be brood, hover, stir, move upon, move. So it's I like to you know, go somewhere between hover, brood, okay? Because it's kind of like the giving birth. I like brood because it's like a hen brooding over her egg,
yes,
over her chick.
right.
Yes.
My mom texts, in English an open syllable ends in a vowel and a closed syllable ends in a consonant. Is this different in Hebrew?
Yes.
So
It
it's
is.
the opposite?
Yeah, it's the opposite. I could be making a mistake because, you know, I keep meaning to go over all of those fundamental rules, okay? But I'm pretty sure that an open syllable in the Hebrew language is just ending in a consonant, correct? And when it's closed, it ends with a vowel. Pretty sure that that's true. I will check to make sure. If anybody has any difference, if you already saw some, you know, proof that it's no, it's the other way around, then let me know. But I think it's true. Any other questions? Okay, I know some of you are going, oh, I got questions, you can't hear me, you don't have your phone, I don't have anybody's phone. We're going to make sure that you can text next time, okay? Love all of you guys, bless you.